We enter the portal of Aquarius, the Cosmic Cauldron. Face your fear, and it becomes your shield. The Temple of Alchemy is very beautiful. The priestess Alchemy, in her beautiful golden robes with the blue of Aquarius, addresses the twin apprentices, Aeon and Elaine. Many feel faint-hearted when they face the new age, which some call the fifth world, and others Aquarius. We need to help create the new aeon ourselves. We'll have it where we wish, and so work with the deities instead of fearing them. Let us invoke the Goddess Aquarius, who creates the cosmic matrix. Priest alchemist in golden and blue robes steps forth and raises his staff. I invoke the Goddess Aquarius of the Cauldron of Aquarius. We who face rebirth call to her, who from her depths brings forth new life. Now we see that a priestess is in trance, in beautiful orange robes. She's seated before a symbolic cauldron. You face with fear and disbelief the mighty black abyss that reigns within the heart of your Milky Way galaxy, as black as this cauldron and as mighty as it is small. Yet each one of you is born from the abyss which lies within the body of the humblest mother on earth, a cat, a reptile, a caterpillar. You think of the heights and the depths, greatness and smallness, light and darkness, past and present, caught up in the duality that divides you from the all. Know that there are no divisions, no heights, no depths, no greatnesses, no smallness within divine reality. Love glows as warmly in a mighty star as in the heart of a rose. Truth shines clearly in the eyes of a snake as in the eyes of a god. Look for quality, not quantity. Then you will discover that there is no difference between the old and the new, past and present. If you wish to know the future, remember what did happen. For all rotate in my cauldron that bestows inspiration, prophecy, and evolutionary shape-shifting. Love yourself and you will love others. All are one. We take the oracle to heart. Priest alchemist, we give thanks to the Goddess Aquarius for her oracle. The whole atmosphere of the temple changes. It is raised in consciousness. He addresses Aeon. My son, you have ever aspired to the stars, yet to achieve stellar consciousness, you need to experience fully your physical incarnation. Are you willing to undergo the initiation of Aquarius' cauldron and learn to become the Bard Taliesin of the shining brow? Aeon. I've always loved that legend. I'm willing. Priest alchemist. You'll find it is more than a legend. He hands Aeon a card from the Marseille deck. Describe this card. Aeon examines the card, upside down and every way. Anti-church. It depicts La Maison Dieu, House of God, as a tower broken at the top. Two youths are thrown downwards. I wonder. The tower is destroyed when celestial fire breaks open its roof, and the youths reach for green shoots growing from the earth. The four elements glow around them as colossal spheres, as coloured beings. Priest alchemist. Well described. You are ready for the initiation. You may enter trance. We will be with you, but may not help you. Aeon now lies down on the couch vision. I make my way eagerly up the hill of the Zodiac Temple. I love a guided initiation. It makes me feel safe somehow. I enter the temple and pay my respects to the Vestal flame. I notice for the first time a small stream is flowing from the central altar and flows around the temple. Yes, it is leaving the temple, flowing through the portal of Aquarius. I'll follow it, of course. That's where I meant to go. I reach it. Above the portal is the painted figure of a woman pouring water around the door. She is the source. On the left is a family of monkeys. Above them is a tree with birds. A snake is gliding at the foot of an oak tree. On the other side is a painting of Adam and Eve, black-skinned and naked. They're eating apples, of course. The apples on the ground are sprouting shoots. This is orthodox. I feel reassured. I part the blue-green curtains and pass through the portico. How horrible! I'm in a crowded, dark cave, or is it a cell? Judging by the costumes, I'm in the 19th century. Are we trapped coal miners? No, they would hardly have women with babies and very young children here. I feel their fear. Disease and death are here. I share their despair. I gather that for a political reason they have been drawn from their homes, whatever they were like, for transportation. I cannot understand their language. They are being removed on racial and religious grounds from some territory newly designated as belonging to another race. I give my sympathy. So indignant as well. So they start telling me their stories. And as they speak, I began to see where they come from. Happier times in their homes. Also, I began to see other lives in other times. I never realized I'd wanted to make television programs, but I do. Here's my chance. So I begin to tell these people a long and very involved story. There's lots of love in it, and violence, and courage, and hope, and parties, and drinking. Then I decide, seeing how happy and interested they look, I hand on the story to a woman who eagerly continues. So she begins to tell the story as well in her way, not mine, in her own voice. This is wonderful. She brings us to ancient Egypt. Here is a glorious adventure involving sunlight, sun in this dark place, passion, and a noble death by being buried in sand with her lover. Her hearers love this, as they too have suffered passion and immolation, and in that cold cell they could do with sun. And as they listen, things begin to change. As I think this, a ray of sunlight gleams through a fissure in the wall. I find the people are changing. Suddenly there's a terrible noise, and all goes dark. A blackness unknown to me before. The cell is rotating. We are descending into a pit. But I tell them all that this is a tunnel leading to a most wonderful land. They believe me and stop screaming. One of the children says he can see the land. Lots of berries are there to eat. It's lovely. The noise and the rushing cease. And we find ourselves under a spreading oak, eating berries. So growing round the foot of the tree. We are laughing and talking as if nothing has happened. The smiling woman with long hair and a blue dress speaks. This meditation has been a great success, she says. She addresses me. I'm Arian Rod of the Silver Wheel. How did you enjoy your stay with my sister Coridwin in the depths of the earth? I'm about to burst into rage about the dreadful cell, but I remember all the wonderful stories we lived through. I say cautiously, we lived in interesting times. She looks thoughtful. You take things so seriously, like your twin, Elaine. They are all dreams you create yourselves that you call lives. I think you'd better leave here amongst the better leave here amongst the stars and be with my niece, Query, beloved daughter of Coridwin, healer with lavender. I like the gyrations of Arian Rod's silver wheel in her white vortex, as little as I enjoyed being with Coridwin's awful black matrix. Too extreme, out of pure white mind and then pure black abyss. I'm beginning to feel so sleepy. How lovely it is to sit in an old-fashioned Victorian garden amongst lavender bushes. A little girl is busy planting primulas. She gives me a sprig of lavender. I am happy. Aiden is slowly returning from trance, a blissful smile. He wonders, has he passed the test? The company assure him that he has, because he had forgotten it. He'd forgotten his own advancement. He was only thinking of the people in the cell, and how wretched they were, and how to help them. And that's how he became like Query of the lavender. She was thinking about him. Reports are shared, and healing sent forth. Thanks, we give thanks, all of us, to the deities. At the portal of Aquarius, the next rite. The goddess of Aquarius is here. The art of magic is to transform evil into good. We are once more in the temple of alchemy, as beautiful as ever, but with the same Aquarian colours. The priest of alchemy addresses the twin apprentices, Aidan and Elaine. There are two spirals of life flowing, that which descend and that which rises. To put these two against each other is the way of madness, for in verity they are one, coiled around a central axis. In other words, you see a spiral black going down, that's evil, help. You see a white one going up, that's good, or vice versa. But they're both one, they come from the same source. To the awakened, this axis is a single point that pierces all spheres and two spirals from an ever-renewing circle. Try to imagine yourself above this caduceus, a line with two coiled things, and you'll see a circle, just one. The spiral becomes one, and the straight line becomes a point. To undertake the magical work of union, we need to invoke the goddess Dana, who is mother, mystic, omnipresent. Here we turn to a priestess in trance, in soft blue robes flowing round her. Place yourself in the center of divine reality, and you are immortal. You only die because you lose connection with the holy being that you derive from the mother of all. Blessed by the life-giving energy of the Divine Father, the Mother expresses herself in as many ways as there are beings. I speak to you on behalf of deities who take the name of Mother in manifold religions. Without one single atom, the body of the cosmic goddess is incomplete. Deity manifests itself in minute details, not through numbers. Numbers give you the outer assessment. It is the soul that shows forth each individual spirit. There are many families of beings. Angels do not incarnate in physical form usually. Only very few creatures have the courage to do so. You are each of you very brave. You accept painful challenges, frightening evil, so that great good can come through such ordeals. Have no fear. All are saved, not through virtue alone, but through divine love that rejects none, accepts all. The priestess Harapan of alchemy. We give thanks for this beautiful oracle. We feel the atmosphere of this temple is uplifted. This is the very essence of alchemy. She addresses Elaine. Elaine, you rush into situations, your flag flying without the necessary understanding of both parties in a dispute. Are you willing to endure the awakening of the Aquarian goddess, that you may face even alarming new ideas? Elaine. I've become aware I'm a bit set in my thought. I accept the challenge of change. The priestess takes a card from the Marseille pack. Elaine gives an exclamation. This card has affected my life since I was about 3 years old. I saw it lying in a railway carriage seat. It's called L'Étoile de Star. I love the lady having blue hair and no clothes on, though my nurse turned it upside down at once. The girl is kneeling with her left knee on the earth. Her right foot is in a stream. She holds 2 jars. One she is pouring back into the water. The other she empties on the earth. As a child I loved the stars best. There are 7, red, blue and yellow. In the centre is a big star with 8 yellow and red rays. I would surmise now that this represents Aldebaran, principal red star of Taurus of Venus. The woman is bringing green trees and plants to a dry land. Priestess Alchemist. We are glad you relate psychically to this card already. You are prepared for trance. We shall be with you, but may not help you, as you well know. Elaine lies peacefully on a couch and shuts her eyes. She gets into trance very, very easily. Full of hope for wonders, I climb the hill of the Temple of the Stars. I enter and honor the Vestal Flame. I follow the little stream flowing from the central altar to its exit through the portal of Aquarius. The portal is reached as Aiden described it. It's much the same, except that the Aquarian goddess pouring forth the water seems to have eyes that are looking at me. So rather quickly I pass through the portal to avoid her gaze. In vain. She's there, waiting for me at the other side. Why? She's the woman in the tarot card, blue hair and all. I can hear her voice, which is clear and cool. No, Elaine, she says, I'm not a projection. I'm real. However, I do not incarnate as human, but we of the she, Davy, angels, do project in many forms. It would be so tiresome to go through the physical birth process and so forth. I ask, who are you? Are you a goddess? She replies, I am a 5th element Davy, angel, she. We have many names on the 5th level. We roughly approximate to the human, very evolved humans. We evolve not through physical matter, but through the inner elements in various ways. I'm a bit like you. I evolved through earth, air, fire, and water, and I propose to take you on a little trip through all 4. The 5th is the ether that encompasses all, pervades all. The goddesses and gods are beyond this. They extend into other dimensions beyond our capacity to understand, but they help us, sometimes through incarnation into physical form, but more often by projection, as we do. So you always project as the most advanced humans, I ask, masters of the wisdom, those sort? Not at all, she replies. We enjoy manifesting as fairies, unicorns, dragons, cats, owls, a whole range of mythological creatures. We have power over the physical realm. You know, you're like your twin. You try and delay happenings through conversation. What is book learning compared with experience? In any adventure, remember yourself. In difficulty, remember the tarot card. The whole scene abruptly changes. I'm involved in a horrible traffic accident. A drunken driver has driven straight into a pylon supporting a railway bridge. I feel a strong impulse to run away. The man and his companion are obviously dead. I feel caught between 2 situations. One, home and peace. The other, being called as a witness in a police court. Suddenly a train roars overhead on the bridge, and I suddenly remembered a magical card on a railway seat. I remember my real self. I don't run away. The lady had her foot in water, so I run up to the car, and truly the men are dead. But then I see one of them leave his body like a mist, but human in form. He quivers. The first ghost I have seen. He is terrified. Then he sees me, and I reassure him. I tell him his wife has been waiting for him. I know she is dead. He visualizes her, and she is able to come to him, alive in spirit world. Now I'm back with the Davy. You see how an emblem works, she said, and you have others, so that which, when all fails and you lose hope, your real self, these will help you. I think a lot. Yes, I remember, I explained. I used to get my father to play music from Mozart's Magic Flute Opera. I love the music that you got the lovers through fire and water. This time, the projection was instantaneous. I heard the most hideous noise. It was a violent quarrel between members of two families. The recriminations, accusations, rage, all centered round a young family member arrested for some offense. None can be as disrupting evil as row. I rushed to the window and opened it. The view showed only tall buildings blotting out the sky. But then I heard a metallic rendering of the Mozart flute music that I loved. At once I found myself, my true self. I returned to the quarrel, but now took no sides. I did not speak. Instead, I listened. And as I listened, there came heavenly tranquility. The people became suddenly quiet. I left the projection and visited the Davy. I've had earth and air, I said, but what about fire? That should be no problem. Whenever you find the electric magnetic fire rush through you, you'll remember who you are. With despondency, I find myself where I most hate, in a society party. Everyone except me is mildly drunk. They're talking rubbish. They are, I decide, snobs, tedious, stupid, and I hate them. Then one comes up to me and says, I know what you think of us. You despise us. I feel guilty. He knew. And I'm adding to the depressive atmosphere. But suddenly I feel a rush of firepower. I burst out laughing. You don't know, I said, but you're about to find out. You're all wonderful. Filled with psychic knowledge, I proceed to give all present psychic readings. They call me a fortune teller. The room is filled with waves of excitement. I'm getting the hang of these projections. These had been past episodes, but I'm certainly improving my behavior. This is all very well, I say to the Davy, but what about prophecy? Upcoming disasters. There is only one way to deal with gloom and doom, she declares cheerfully. To deny them, I suggest, and say that all will be well if we take a positive viewpoint. Not at all. This never works, because disasters do occur, and people get a buzz from them. For instance, we all die, quite often in fact. No, the answer is to go with the flow. You've always loved paintings of the Aquarius water giver pouring forth the water of Aquarius, but remember this, prophecies help, do not hinder. They give magical underground streams that bring you to new dimensions. Oh, I find myself in a meeting dominated by fearful prophecies. At first I agree that everything's awful. The establishment are busy trying to kill us with weapons of mass destruction. Doctors inventing new diseases through antibiotics, that sort of thing. Suddenly an angry prophet knocks over a glass of water. It pours onto the floor, making it a reflective puddle. He's furious, but I laugh. I remember the painting. We are all having a splendid time, denigrating everybody else, I call. All around us is wickedness, but not us. How lucky we are. Suddenly the furious man laughs. We all laugh. Nothing brings more enjoyment than gloom and doom. I return heavenwards. I think I get the message, I say to the angel Davy. We create our own tragedies, horrors, adventures, to exploit life itself in all its mysteries. But when we think we've had enough drama creating, what's the next step? Admit that you are empty, she replied. Pray to be filled from the divine source. Now, watch the sea. I find myself on the shore of a tideless sea. Slowly rising from the sea is the divine form of the goddess Dana of the Atlantic Ocean. She's very tall, has long waving hair spread out about her. Her robe is turquoise blue. Around her are sea creatures, dolphins, sea lion, small fishes. I feel awe and peace, love and joy. As I watch, a white star descends upon her from the stars of Aquarius. I find all my emblems, the tarot card, the flute music. I feel the onrush of a divine energy, which I share with all. The Devi brings me back to where we met, at the portal of Aquarius, and I thank her, and I say, I love the shape of things to come. Elaine slowly returns from trance, joyful, inspired. Rays of love, joy, and understanding are sent to all. Reports are shared by the company. Everything is shared. Thanks are given to the deities. I hope you feel uplifted as well. I feel very cheerful now.